Were you aware that refraining from masturbation might result in unexpected modifications to your body as you age? It's simple to ignore facts like self-gratification, believing it's no longer significant or even required, but many elderly people are unaware that the body continues to gain from that type of stimulus that is only deeper compared to before. It's not only about physical release, it's important to maintain some systems that continue to function properly, be emotionally stable, and upholding a feeling of being in one with your body. In this video, we will examine 6 topics that older men may experience when they give up masturbating entirely. Some of you might be surprised by these physical bodily changes and subtle emotional repercussions, each of which conveys a greater tale concerning the aging process of the body and what even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, stay to the very finish. Because the final point may entirely alter your perspective on your own confidence in your health and feelings of independence, this is not what this is about. It's about embarrassment or shame. Knowing your body, respecting it, and understanding how to age gracefully. And let's begin with self-awareness. 1. Reduction in pelvic floor strength. One of the lesser-known muscles repercussions of refraining from masturbating in the progressive deterioration of your pelvic floor muscles is not something that most men consider, but they are essential to everything from controlling one's bladder to sexual function in the absence of frequently engaged, particularly through types of contractions that occur during climax and arousal. They can gradually lose your strength and tone. You may observe minor details first, like little leaks when sneezing or coughing, or the need to go to the loo more often. These minor problems can eventually grow into becoming more significant annoyances for some elderly. In men, this deterioration results in incontinence. Significant challenges in accomplishing or keeping an erection are not always due to hormone levels or blood flow, but only because the muscles maintaining the system have become inactive. The body functions similarly to machine parts that aren't frequently used and have a tendency to stiffen, weaken, or break down more quickly in the pelvic area. Nothing different, it requires routine excitement and involvement to remain practical, and while walking, stretching, or even simple exercise can support the particular types of contractions that take place when a sexual discharge occurs, including those especially advantageous for this field. Additionally, there is a psychological link. When the pelvic floor becomes less strong, it may result in a sense of helplessness that feels like disturbing feelings that some men claim to have, such as shame, less self-assuredness, or even feelings of humiliation that might turn into deeper emotional trends, such as social disengagement or a lack of desire to move. Regarding what begins as a tiny physical problem, it could subtly affect your attitude and routines. It's not about reversing time or holding on to young people. It's important to maintain the systems you remain in decent condition so you can take pleasure in your freedom, mobility, and, for as long as possible, dignity. Simply similar to cleaning your teeth to prevent cavities, utilizing your body in such personal but natural methods can aid in preventing some decreases even before they begin for older men who completely quit masturbating. The initial indication of a change may not originate in the mind, but it may originate from an urgent point in the restroom, an unexpected leak, or a sensation that the body isn't as well managed as the good news is that it used to be. You have the power to alter this. You don't have to completely change your life. You just must remain in touch with your body. To interact with it in ways that are natural, private, and reliable, that connectivity, even if just occasionally, can significantly help you maintain your intact pelvic health. Number 2. Decline circulation to the genitalia. In an elderly, a man completely quits masturbating. One of the initial covert alterations is a slow decrease of genital blood flow region, which may not seem like a large one first, but over time, that absence of circulation starts to have an impact on the overall sensitivity to health and even the looks of the penis, similar to any component of the body. This part of the body requires frequent stimulation to remain receptive and nourished. Without that recurring spike in blood flow, tissues may begin to become rigid or shrink a little bit, losing some of their elasticity. Men become aware that they don't feel as much feeling as they were used to, tell them that it takes longer to get erections when they are stimulated or occur, and feel weaker or less fulfilled. However, aging itself isn't the only culprit. In many instances, it's the lack of use that speeds up this drop in blood flow. Provides nourishment and oxygen, and it also removes rubbish and provides assistance to preserve nerve sensitivity, which is accurate. Regardless of your age, from 25 to 75, your body already needs to work as you age. More difficult to keep circulation going, so when you cease having sexual relations, even on your own, you take away one of the few natural methods for maintaining that bodily portion vibrant and engaged. Just think of what might occur. When an individual ceases to use their hands or legs over time, they become weaker. Tighten, making you more vulnerable to harm. Here, the same idea holds true for what we don't use it because we could lose it overnight. But slowly, quietly, and frequently without recognizing it after it has already occurred, this impacts your confidence as well. Whether or not you are aware of it when things it can't feel the same down there. Begin to influence your feelings regarding yourself, your vitality, your perception of vitality, and the conviction that you are still complete and competent, as well as that loss of self-assurance is not limited to the bedroom. It may manifest in the way you conduct yourself. Your level of social interaction, or if you avoid circumstances in which you once felt this isn't cozy and connected. Concerning seeking pleasure in its own right, it's about continuing to operate when your body's blood flow slows down, causing the notification that the location is no longer necessary, but when you maintain contact even in tiny, regular ways, you're revealing your body is still important, and hence in response, your body retains those systems that are operational and prepared. So if you've seen a decrease in feeling energetic or reactive, as well as a lack of spending some time being active with yourself, may be among the components that are lacking. A small amount of focus in this area can result in unexpected gains in your emotional state. How do you move and interact with yourself more in your own body? If you're still viewing this video and discovering these excellent insights, kindly provide the comment number 2 below to inform me of your presence, and in case you haven't signed up yet, I advise you to sign up and activate the bell to ensure that you don't miss any of your support. It enables us to keep producing quality material to educate and motivate you right now. Let's proceed to the third. Hormonal imbalance, and changes in mood are among the most underappreciated consequences of quitting. In later life, masturbation is the way it impacts your hormones in specific. Oxytocin, dopamine, and are more than just scientific terms physicians enjoy kicking around. They are the chemical cues that assist in controlling your motivation, vitality, mood, and even your feeling of self as a man. Once you cease energizing your body in that comfortable, close manner in which the brain gradually diminishes its organic release of these positive and essential hormones, maintaining muscular mass is aided by testosterone. Bone density, sex, and mental clarity. Focus motivation is supported by drive dopamine. And that glimmer of fulfillment that encourages you to get up and take action, often known as the bonding hormone. Oxytocin hormones subtly influence emotional consistency and ties even when the absence of you over time leaves you alone. Self-release may result in a hormone you may observe that you feel more relaxed, a bit more lethargic during the day, agitated for no apparent cause, or even you might sleep more if you're somewhat depressed, but feel more exhausted, or you may find it difficult to feel passionate about stuff that used to make you happy, and if you put all of that down to aging on your own, can be lacking a crucial component of the difficult part of the challenge is that the fall is silent and gradual, so you may not immediately connect the dots, but when the human body no longer performs routine release even a few times a week, their hormone levels fluctuate and aren't always in his favor. According to certain surveys, even sporadic sexual excitement can support the maintenance of higher testosterone levels. Steady in elder men's contributions to improved vitality, more lucid thought, and even stronger muscles and bones. Now, after time, this does not imply that all elderly men must adhere to a strict timetable of action to maintain equilibrium. What it indicates that your physical body is still hearing, and when you interrupt one of its innate mechanisms for self-control, other systems begin to sense that incorporates your feelings. A lot of older men who completely abstain from self-gratification start to experience anxiety or emotional flatness rather than understanding that aspect of what's lacking is more than just the deed, it's the accompanying hormonal rhythm. Your brain doesn't understand that without it. Routine reassuring shot that claims, we're all right, we're still here and alive. This can have a subtle impact on the game. way you interact with other people as well as you might find yourself snapping and withdrawing more frequently or feeling uninspired in discussions or social situations in which you may even get disinterested in closeness. Completely not because the desire has departed, but because your body no longer has the motivation to go for it. This is something you can change gradually. Slight return to self-impropriety without shame or guilt can aid in reintroducing it. Doesn't require those hormone advantages. Being dramatic is not what you're doing for performance, you're doing it to maintain equilibrium. For lucidity and the feeling of existence linked to oneself, the objective isn't to, it serves to support the body in reverse time. You still have today to do what needs to be done. Understands how to control healing and restore. Number 4, there is a higher chance of prostate congestion is among the more bodily repercussions that are frequently disregarded. Preventing elderly masturbation is a condition known as prostatic congestion at the moment. This is not a situation that occurs in informal discussion, but it's a very genuine. The prostate gland is a problem for older men, which is essential to semen production may slow down and crowded in the absence of regular release. This is what's going on behind the scenes. Your prostate still generate fluid as a component of your natural function even in the event that you're not sexually active. When they don't ejaculate, it often that fluid has nowhere to. Over time, this accumulation may result in a feeling of discomfort or pressure, or even pain in the groin or lower abdomen. Some guys say they feel satisfied or observe an unknowing, dull, nagging ache. Why some people are emotionless until one. The day they do this out of the blue is very crucial to comprehend, because a prostate congestion doesn't only feel painful, it may also make you feel in danger of more problems like irritation, trouble urinating, or even more regular restroom breaks during the night, according to some research. That consistent ejaculation, whether via masturbation or sex with a partner, might be beneficial. Lower the chance of prostate development. Associated circumstances, such as inflammation and perhaps even specific malignancies, but you don't have to be daily active, but consistency is key. Similar to extending your legs following a prostate, it requires gradual relaxation for a long time. Stimulation for optimal performance. Otherwise, it resembles a blockage. Pressure on the tap, but without vent where pressure can gradually increase, appearing in ways that you might not instantly connect with your sexual health. Now, this is where the psychological negative effects. When problems with the prostate occur, many men feel guilty or blame themselves. Feeling ashamed, people might be reluctant to bring it up with a physician or even to admit that something doesn't feel right, but this isn't about who is at fault but rather knowing how your body functions. There is no shame, especially as it becomes older. Being aware of what your body requires and taking action and really taking charge of your prostate health can save you from needless suffering later on, and more significantly, it can help you feel more at ease. Some elderly men talk about their experiences over the years. Considering it without any sort of release no longer mattered until they began experiencing trouble urinating or felt pain that was inexplicable. When they made minor adjustments and reintroduced stimulation in sometimes, many observed not only a sense of bodily comfort but also in general improvement in their emotional state. Consider that throughout the day as preservation, not luxury, not frailty. Simply take good care of one of the most neglected areas of a man's physique. If you continue to see this video, and I hope you find these insights useful, please let me know in the 4th comment below. If you haven't already, you're here. Subscribed, but I advise you to do so. And press the bell to ensure you don't miss it. Your assistance with any videos is helpful to us. Keep producing informative, high-quality articles. And motivate you. Now, let's go. The 5th factor was heightened emotional stress and irritation, which is another effect of avoiding later life masturbation, is something that many men don't do right away. Identify any emotional strain you may feel. You may feel a bit more agitated than normal. Perhaps little things begin to irritate you more, or you start to distance yourself from those who don't fully comprehend why. It initially appears to be nothing, merely bad day or indication of lack of sleep. However, the accumulation of stress over time without a healthy release, it may have an impact on your relationships and your mood. Masturbation, particularly in later life, is not only a bodily act, it's also an emotional release in a calm, secluded setting where your body has an opportunity to relieve stress so that your mind can recharge. Even if only briefly, it might seem easy, yet it may be incredibly efficient in reducing the stress hormones and taking a rest for your neurological system, especially when that source stops in a life that may already consist of health issues related to loneliness or providing care demands on your emotional well-being that can begin to overflow, as well as because the accumulation is inconspicuous and internal. It frequently gets expressed in unexpected ways by means of a brief temper, constant annoyance, or trouble unwinding. Might not even be aware of this change in your emotional condition began when you withdrawn from any kind of personal. For a lot of older guys, self-connection, emotional control increases challenging as we age, not because we lose our knowledge, but because the pressures grow as the outlets contract, friends change routines, and physical restrictions begin to appear without a releasing valve. All of the stress simply remains. Some men are trying to find a way out. Turn to booze or food to avoid being alone. Individuals, but among the most compassionate natural methods for relieving that stress include by quiet self-stimulation reminder that your body continues to function. Your needs and well-being are still important. Merits your consideration, but it hasn't. You don't even need to be theatrical. Be consistent, but its absence, particularly in conjunction with mounting stress in life, can make you feel disengaged and burdened. Additionally, there's something significant regarding taking back authority in your personal area. When you give yourself permission to express feelings, whether it's through giggling, you're allowing yourself to touch or release authorization to experience and live in a universe that frequently advises older guys to be tough and stern. Or quiet. That little gesture can seem like a refreshing change. This isn't about utilizing a single solution to address everything, but it's important to understand that emotional physical health is closely related to statement, and when you take away one of your body's most fundamental expressions, it is aware that something else frequently takes its place: stress, annoyance, or a calm sadness that is sometimes inexplicable. If you recognize any of that, fortunately, you're not alone. There is no need to alter the way back. It just requests that you listen to who you are. Respectfully, to your mind and body's potential, I am attempting to inform you that number 6 is losing relationship with your body when an older man completely quits masturbating. Among the most subtly detrimental consequences is not hormonal or physical, rather, it's the further detachment from his own body, and this extends beyond simply biology. Over time, once we cease participating physically with ourselves, we start to stray from the basic consciousness of our feelings, our needs, and the places where many older guys say that they still experience joy. Such as, I simply don't feel like myself. I don't recognize my body anymore, presently. Although a portion of that is some of it is a natural consequence of growing older. From disengagement, the gradual retreat from closeness, not just with other people but with yourself. Once we've stopped touching, investigating, or even considering ourselves in a sensual or linked manner, we start to treat our bodies as though they were machines. Just attempting to preserve rather than replace parts of ourselves that merit consideration and even respect. This discrepancy frequently first appears in minor ways. You might quit staring at your reflection. If you don't, you could turn into too preoccupied with the pain spots drooping rather than observing your body as an entity that remains alive, still competent, and worthy of appreciation. You may feel less inspired to move, dress nicely, or perform things that used to make you feel appealing or self-assured. Masturbation, at its essence, is a personal act of acknowledgement. It reads, I remain here. I still believe that I am important. And when that is eliminated, particularly for years, the ensuing stillness may lengthen over time into apathy that extends beyond sex. However, this emotional your health can be impacted by distance in many and unexpected ways. Investigations have demonstrated that bodily awareness is connected to improved self-care and more robust immune system reactions and even quicker recuperation from disease. When you stay in contact with your body not only using reasoning or accountability but also through close, important encounters, you're more inclined to appreciate it and take care of it and to take responsibility for your aging procedure. Now, turning isn't the goal. It's not about pretending to go back in time. Are you hunting after lost or are you 30 again? It's about establishing your passions. Currently, accepting tiny constant affirmations that you're still a complete individual, not merely a father or a grandfather or a clinic patient. However, a man whose body still replies that they still appreciate and deserve connection when it diminishes your sense of self may begin to erode with it. You may experience being more of someone that watches your life rather than a participant. But when you bring that return of attention, even subtly and without pressure, that rekindles a silent but strong feeling of vitality. You don't require approval from others to feel comfortable with yourself and don't have to describe the reason for your actions that makes you more intimate with yourself. You're not damaged, but you're still in your prime. Remains present, and the more you get back in touch, the more you experience that reality in your bones, your spirit, and your heart. If you continue to see this video, and I hope you find these insights useful, please let me know in the 6th comment below. If you haven't already, you're here. Subscribed, but I advise you to do so. And press the bell to ensure you don't miss it. Your assistance with any videos is helpful to us. Keep producing informative, high-quality articles. And motivate you. Now, let's go. Lastly, as we conclude this video, think for a moment about what you've recently learned. Which of these 6 modifications what caught your attention the most? Was something that caught you off guard or something that subtly validated what this video has already made you feel? Something is not here to embarrass or coerce anyone. It serves as a reminder that growing older does not imply distancing oneself. You still own your body, and it still deserves your consideration, your concern, and yes, even your love, regardless of whether it's about maintaining the balance of your prostate, your disposition, or just keeping a positive relationship with your body. You are important, these things are important, and there is no age at which that ceases to be. It's true that there is nothing you need to do. Dramatic, even brief, deliberate moments. Self-connection can have an impact. If this video provided you with a fresh method to consider your health or just lend a hand, then you feel a bit more understood. I appreciate you being here. Joining us today would be greatly appreciated. You share one and leave a remark underneath. Anything you discovered today and your planning strategy to apply it to your life, your ideas are vital to us, so please don't hesitate to share them after reading your remarks. Us a lot of inspiration and support. If you found and liked this video useful, kindly like, subscribe, and share. Your assistance enables us to keep producing excellent material to educate and motivate you. We appreciate you viewing, and we look forward to, and hope to see you in, the upcoming video.